In Beijing, a $2 billion deal collapsed overnight. The Chinese government blocked Meta from buying one of its rising artificial intelligence companies. The decision sent a sharp message to Washington just days before the most important meeting in nearly 10 years, a summit, a trade war, and a quiet shift in global power that almost no one in the West predicted. The company at the center of the block was Manus, a Chinese-founded artificial intelligence startup. Meta had offered $2 billion to buy it. Beijing said no. The central government had already opened an investigation into the deal. The two founders of Manus were barred from leaving China weeks before the final decision came down. For Beijing, the message was clear. National security now matters more than business. Technology is treated as a tool of power. No foreign company will be allowed to walk away with what China sees as a future asset. The block came just days before the most important diplomatic meeting in nearly 10 years. President Xi Jinping will host President Donald Trump in Beijing on May 14 and 15, 2026. It will be the first visit by a sitting U.S. president to China in close to a decade. The trip was originally planned for late March. It was pushed back when the United States joined Israel in a military campaign against Iran. Both governments agreed to delay. The summit is now set to go ahead, even with rising tensions over Iran nuclear talks in the Middle East. China believes it is walking in with a stronger hand. The United States is stretched thin. Much of its attention is locked on the Middle East. Trump is also under pressure at home as midterm elections come closer. He needs visible wins to take back to American voters. Those wins are expected to come through trade. Beijing is likely to offer large purchases of American farm products. It may also order more Boeing aircraft. These deals are designed to narrow the trade gap that Washington has complained about for years, but Beijing is also pushing back. Last month, China introduced new rules to punish foreign companies that stop using Chinese suppliers. The goal is to slow the wider decoupling between the two economies. Washington has been moving in the opposite direction. The U.S. recently halted shipments of certain chip-making equipment to Hua-Hong Semiconductor. American officials also warned international banks against doing business with Chinese refineries that process Iranian oil. To understand why China feels confident, look back to April 2025. That month, Trump launched a global tariff war. Most countries searched for deals to soften the blow. China stood firm. According to reporting in the South China Morning Post, China was the only major country that fully stood up to Washington. In the end, Trump moved first. 6 months later, in October 2025, Xi and Trump met in Busan, South Korea. From Beijing's view, that meeting reshaped the story. For the first time, China was treated as a real peer in the global system. Trump even revived the old term G2 to describe the relationship between the two powers. The Beijing summit is expected to push that idea further. A long stretch of stability would help China at a key moment. The country is starting a new 5-year plan. Senior leaders are also preparing for the Communist Party's 21st Congress, scheduled for late 2027, where a new leadership lineup will be decided. Behind the scenes, the groundwork has already started. On Thursday night before the summit, Vice Premier He Lifeng held a video call with U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. The state news agency Xinhua described the talks as in-depth and constructive. The two sides exchanged views on addressing each other's concerns and on advancing trade and investment deals. Greer has also raised the idea of forming a U.S.-China Board of Trade. The body would try to reduce the trade imbalance by raising American exports to China. There are also early discussions about a U.S.-China Board of Investment, which could open space for Chinese money in non-sensitive sectors of the American economy. In return, Beijing wants Washington to ease controls on technology exports. Around the same time, Foreign Minister Wang Yi spoke by phone with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Wang focused on Taiwan. He said the issue concerns China's core national interest and constitutes the biggest risk factor in China-US relations. There are signs that Xi may push Trump to harden Washington's position on Taiwan. The current US line is that it does not support Taiwan's independence. Beijing wants Washington to say it actively opposes it. The difference may look small from outside. For China, it will be a major rhetorical win and tighter pressure on the island. After Beijing, the diplomatic calendar fills up fast. Xi is expected to visit the United States later this year, possibly in September. The two leaders may meet again at the APEC summit in Shenzhen in November and at the G20 summit in Miami in December. The bargaining between the world's two largest economies is expected to continue through the rest of 2026.